can be achieved by having very efficient internal capital markets, and also by engaging in this restructuring of businesses, you can achieve financial economies of scope. And here it says the only economies of scope that an unrelated diversified company can realize is what? What do you think? Is a financial economy of scope. Because the unrelated diversified companies do not share much in common among the different businesses they have. So think about Berkshire Hathaway. So Benjamin Moore Paint, Dairy Queen, what do they have in common? Not much. So there is not much room for them to achieve operational economy of scope here, right, for Berkshire Hathaway. But maybe they can achieve some financial economy of scope. So that's why I put this here, okay, for the financial economy of scope. And let's talk about this a little bit more here. Okay. Corporate diversification and firm performance. Does corporate diversification indeed lead to superior performance? What will be the relationship between the level of diversification and the performance? In general, we say that there is an inverted U relationship between the level of diversification and performance potential, okay, which means that you can achieve the highest level of performance, okay, if you engage in related diversification compared to like single business or unrelated diversification. Why do you think so? Why? We already talked about it, right? Yeah. Probably the related. So for firms pursuing related diversification, they may be able to achieve not only the financial economies of scope, but also operational economies of scope that can really help the firm, okay, reduce cost a lot and increase a lot of value, okay, because they can utilize their resources and capabilities into different businesses. But if you engage in only like unrelated diversification, and then there is not much room for them to achieve and utilize their resources and capabilities to different unrelated businesses. So the only thing they could do achieve is financial economies of scope, right? So usually, generally speaking, we say that there is an inverted U-shaped relationship between the level of diversification and performance. Okay? So this is a summary of the sources of value creation and sources of cost of vertical integration and diversifications. We already talked about this already. So basically, there's always like pros and cons of doing things. For example, vertical integration. So if the benefits of vertical integration include that they can own and internalize activities within the value chain, so they have more control over all these activities compared to when they just use market transaction. But at the same time, okay, you need to think about the integration cost, okay, and running all these different functions within the same firm. It's going to take a lot of money as well. So think about that cost. Also, you will lose some flexibility by internalizing everything and owning everything and investing a lot of money to own those things in the boundary of a firm. Okay? Related diversification, of course, there are some pros and cons too. Sometimes you can achieve economies of scale and economies of scope by engaging in this related diversification. But at the same time, if you stretch too thin, then you need to think about the coordination cost and influence cost. Yeah. Same thing for unrelated diversification too. You can enjoy some financial economies of scope by engaging in unrelated diversification, but since you really don't know, if you don't really know different businesses really well, then it's going to create some cost too. So always think about the pros and cons of doing this, pursuing these different types of corporate level strategy, and then make a decision accordingly. So today, pretty simple. So we learned the second topic of corporate level strategy, which is diversification. We talked about different types of diversification and different sources of achieving economies of scope in addition to economies of scale. And also we talked about the inverted U-shaped relationship between the level of diversification and performance. So these are the terms and concepts you should remember, okay, for yourself and for the final exam. The dominant business, related diversification, unrelated diversification, related constraint, related link diversification, right? Economies of scope. So you can ignore this anti-competitive part for now. Cross-subsidization, you know what that is. BCG growth share metrics, right? And let's take quizzes.